Pokemon Duel trainers, I need your help. If you like the video, subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. Stay tuned. It's showtime.
We could be.
What's up, trainers? It's your host, Professor Showtime here, and today we're going to be spotlighting the top 10 decks in Pokemon Duel. So usually we talk about figures and how they are in a vacuum, but Pokemon Duel has elevated itself. Now synergies come into play more than ever. But before we get into it, warning, the views and expressions are extremely subjective. Feel free to disagree with me respectfully and comment down below. Without further ado, it's showtime. So the first deck in the top 10 deck in Pokemon Duel is the DEOXSYS decks. That's right, the DEOXSYS deck. This is the deck that everyone loves to hate. I had to throw it on the absolute bottom of the list because I don't like it. And many people don't like DEOXSYS decks. DEOXSYS decks are probably the most polarizing decks. Many people love DEOXSYS decks, many people hate it. It's still effective. Cosmo Energy is still effective. DEOXSYS attack form is still effective. You know, once you throw the Cosmo Energy and you have DEOXSYS attack form with the DEOXSYS speed form and the DEOXSYS defense form, it's practically hopeless to beat this deck. This deck is the ultimate stall deck. In my opinion, it's pretty boring to play with and frustrating to play against. I've even seen people throw Oricorio in there or even a Zoroark in there. The reason why you throw Zoroark in there is because if you attack your DEOXSYS speed form early, you can play DEOXSYS speed form early without throwing a Cosmo Energy down early, and you can just switch out the Zoroark. The deck is really hard to go up against, but it is beatable. Hence the reason I have it at number 10. Next up, we have the Steel type decks. Now the Steel type decks got an infusion with the Metal Sphere plate. So now the Metal Sphere plate actually stacks with the Steel Energy plate, so you can give your Steel type figures plus 20 damage. If you even add a Metal Coat plate in that on one of those figures, now that figure is not hindered by a Pokemon who gets damage boosts. You know, the Pokemon you want to main in this deck is Solgaleo. You could probably throw a Scizor or Scyther to Mega Scizor in there. Meganium is a cool Steel type figure, and Steel type decks really do counter poison decks. The next deck we have up is the Freeze decks. Now the Freeze decks are the decks that everyone wants to get more support. You know, of course we have Suicune. You know, you can throw Articuno in there. You can throw a Glaceon in there if you want a runner that has the ability to freeze. But multiple Suicunes is the way to go. You really want to hit that Share Cold ability. The animation of Freeze looks awesome, and it really feels good when Freeze works. The next deck we have is the Electric deck. Now we all know the Electric decks are spearheaded by Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko's passives gives plus 30 damage to all other electric figures. The main electric figures in an electric deck are probably Zapdos, Zekrom, and Raikou. I've seen people throw Vigavolt in there, and it's got a nice infusion because now we have the Electrosphere and the Electro Energy. If you guys don't know what Electrosphere and Electro Energy does, is if you have a Pokemon that's an electric type Pokemon next to your other electric type Pokemon, that Pokemon gets a plus 10 damage boost. So now those boosts stack, so you can actually get a plus 20 boost on top of the Tapu Koko plus 30 boost. The next deck we have are Dark decks. That's right, Dark decks are here. You know, recently we got a small buff to Yveltal, then we got a small buff to Incineroar. Now we have the old faithful Sableye in there. But we got new Dark figures. We got Guzzlord, and more importantly, we got Zoroark. So Zoroark has the Illusion ability, which allows you to switch in and out. But now, when you throw a Dark Energy in a Dark deck, and you go against full Psychic teams, your Pokemon simply don't go to the PC. Instead, they go to the bench. So, in essence, you have free Max Revives or free Ho-Ho passives, however you want to look at it. But the game is really the deck is really difficult to beat if your opponent plays correctly, because he's not going to have any Pokemon in the PC, especially if he's going against a Psychic deck. Next up, for the top 5, we have the BANISH deck A. So the BANISH deck, it includes the core is Tapu Fini, Tapu Koko, and Mega Altaria. What you want to do is you want to use Tapu Fini's ability to exclude itself and another figure on the field, or you want to use Tapu Koko's melee wish to give one of your Pokemon 3 movement points plus Soar, and of course your Tapu Koko will get excluded from the duel that way. But after one of those things happen, you want to quickly activate Mega Altaria, and you want to try to suicide Mega Altaria as quick as possible, because once you do that, now you're going to get either your Tapu Koko back or your Tapu Fini back, and you can either play a 6-on-5 or you can have a game with 3 movement point figures with Soar. Number 4, we have the Poison Dex. The Poison Dex core is Seismitoad and Gengar. Seismitoad poisons figures, Gengar hops over figures that are poisons and throw them to the PC. Now, you can have a few other toys. You can throw a Venusaur in there. With Venusaur, it gives -1 movement point to all poison figures. You can throw a Toxapex in there now. Toxapex has a blue that can poison, and Toxapex makes all poison figures also noxious as well. Pretty powerful figure. But you can only have either Venusaur and Toxapex in a Poison Dex because they're both 1 movement point. You can also throw Nihilego in a Poison deck because Nihilego has a poison move that gives the Pokemon weight 7. That's tremendous. If you want a runner, you can throw Crobat in there. Crobat is a 3 movement point Pokemon that also has the ability to poison. Poison decks are tried and true. It's fun. I've seen people run multiple Seismitoads in there, but really you need Seismitoad and Gengar in a Poison deck for it to work. That's the core. So now the top 3 decks is the Ultra Beast. The Ultra Beast. Now the Ultra Beast I figure is top 3 because it's still in its infancy. It's still improving, and I think they're 1 figure and 1 plate away from being really meta. You know, of course you have to have a Nihilego in an Ultra Beast deck because it has Call Signal. It has the ability to set up some easy surrounds if you have a Pokemon in the Ultra Space. Oswald gets a plus damage boost for every Pokemon in the Ultra Space. For Hermosa gets a +1 movement point for every Pokemon in the Ultra Space. And Guzzlord has the ability to send Pokemon to the Ultra Space by hopping over it. Quick synergy with the Ultra Beast is you want to use your Nihilego and your Guzzlord. You want to be able, you can either switch with Nihilego or switch with Guzzlord. You know, that weight 7 is crazy. Once Nihilego hits his weight 7, you can use a Pokemon switch with Guzzlord, and now you can hop over that figure and you can send that figure to Ultra Space. That's one of the cool synergies I see with Guzzlord and Solgaleo. So the next deck we have, the number 2 deck, is the Cursed Banish deck. The 3 Altarias deck. This is the deck that hit the meta by storm. This deck came out of nowhere. We all love the way that Altaria's ability stacks. You know, the +20 damage. The Altaria can give +60 damage to itself. So now your Altaria is hitting for 130 or 180, and it has the ability to banish. Amazing. So you can either run 3 Altarias with a Reshiram, Zekrom, and a Tapu Koko. I mean, with that, your Reshiram and Zekrom are getting +30 damage each from the multiple Altarias, plus they're getting +30 from the Overdrive plate, so that's +60. Now they can also, Zekrom can also get +30 from Tapu Koko, so Zekrom is getting +90, Reshiram is getting +60. You're banishing all over the place, and of course you can use you can set up the curse markers with Altarias, so you can banish with that as well. With that deck, you probably want to use scoop up plates. Scoop up plates are going to be able to eliminate the friendly fire curse markers. You know, the reason why I like the scoop up plates is because your Altaria is probably not going to land the curse ability too much, but if it does, if you have 2 scoop up plates, it'll be enough. The other alternative to the scoop up plates is you can run 3 Altarias and multiple Suicunes, like 2 Suicunes. That way, anytime there's a curse marker that's all over the place, you can eliminate the curse markers from yourself. This deck probably has some staying power if the developers don't come out with a hard counter. If they come out with a hard counter, I'll be sad, but if they don't, I think Altaria is going to be here for a while. Now the top deck in Pokemon Duel is Psychic decks. The reason I chose Psychic decks to be number 1 is because they're tried and true. Of course, you have your Lunala, your Solgaleo, your DEOXSYS attack form, and now Mega Mewtwo Y. I've seen people throw Oricorio Powell style, or if you listen to Pokefighter a lot, a Skirt Birdie in there, you know. But the psychic decks are really prevalent. It's really difficult to defeat a psychic deck, even with a dark deck. But psychic decks are cool. The main strategy of a psychic deck, in my opinion, is you want to try to get all your figures out as quickly as possible. Once you do that, you want to activate Mega Mewtwo Y and start going ham. You want to start attacking like crazy with Mega Mewtwo Y. This is the reason. Every time you attack with Mega Mewtwo Y, your Mega Mewtwo Y is going to get another turn, right? But now your opponent is between a rock and a hard place. Your opponent can't attack your other figures because your other figures are getting a +20 damage boost from Mega Mewtwo Y, and your opponent can't attack Mega Mewtwo Y because it's probably gonna lose, you know. So psychic decks, I feel, are number one. Yes, they have a couple counters, but you know, it's tried and true. It's held the meta for so long, and I think it's gonna continue that way. So I'm not gonna let you guys go that quickly. We got a couple honorable mentions. You know, of course, the Tapu Koko Mega Gengar Rush is going to be my top honorable mention. This combination still, you know, gets players to this day. You know, many players know how to go against it now because you just play passively, you know, and you try to just concede one entry point, but you put a Pokemon on the goal. Now we have full rush decks with Zoroark, you know. So full rush decks have got a huge infusion with Zoroark, because now you can run DEOXSYS speed forms and Tapu Kokos. And if your opponent actually tries to attack your DEOXSYS speed form or your Tapu Koko, you can use the illusion ability and switch it out to a Zoroark. So it's not that easy to counter the full rush decks with Zoroark. And the final honorable mention is your Swablu Bewear decks. You guys know that Swablu gives -60 damage to itself. Bewear actually halves the damage that's being attacked into it, and Bewear is gonna get another -30 damage from the Swablus. So guys, in the comments down below, let me know exactly what you disagree with. Let me know what you guys agree with. I want everybody who watches the video to leave a comment. I want guys to see like exactly what type of effect I'm having on the community, and to see if what I'm saying is right, wrong, and different. I know I'm getting people to watch the videos. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos, but comment, let me know how you feel so I can improve the content. You know, I can tweak the content a little bit. Let me know if you guys are enjoying the content or not. This is Showtime signing off. Peace, trainers.